Today I thought that I'll come and discuss a topic with you about positive discipline. So, right now I was reading a book and I realized that as a child I always thought that discipline is punishment. Like, कि if we want to discipline our children, we have to punish them. Otherwise, we will not be able to discipline them. But discipline doesn't mean punishment. Discipline basically to have discipline, and your kids need discipline in life. I will always say that your kids need discipline, but they don't need the punishment for it. Hi Stuti, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
So I just came live to discuss about positive discipline with my followers. So Stuti here is one of my closest friends. You all already know her, I'm sure, and she is one of the most gentle parents that I know. And I'm really glad that I know you also know I know. So that's why I when she sent a request, I was really happy. So tell me, Stuti, what do you think is positive discipline? Or what is discipline? What did you think as a child? What is discipline?
So I only thought wax was the way to discipline a child because I had faced that in my childhood. So I had two very different parents, okay? My mom was the most gentle parent. I don't ever remember her, touching me. Never, ever. While my dad was a strict disciplinarian and he believed that, don't spare the rod. So I have faced two extreme cases in my house, and there was, you know, I had a very, difficult childhood because of that. I couldn't understand, and I always
To
felt closer to
go. Which way to go?
which way to go. And so there are parts of me which wants to, go my dad way, which wants to go my mom way. But I now feel that I was much closer to mom growing up,
Hmm.
because I could talk to her about anything, and I know I wouldn't be judged, and I know that I wouldn't be uh, shouted at, yes, yelled at, yes, but never ever whacked.
Hmm.
So that was, that makes me a gentle parent, because when I think of that, I want to be that mother that my children remember.
Exactly. When we are disciplining our children with hitting them, forcing ourselves basically on them, doing all these things, we are driving them away from us.
You know
In
what?
small bits, we are driving them away from us. And see, it
Exactly.
happens with you also and me also that we shout at our kids. We have discussed it in length at times that we do shout at our kids. But your mom might have just shouted at you, but she never apologized.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah. That
is one thing that I think we all parents need to do, because we want our children, like, obviously there will be times that you will lose your calm, you will lose your patience, and you will shout at your kids. But in that moment, just remember that if your parent had come to you and told you that, I'm sorry, I lost my calm with you, better, you didn't deserve that. I'm sorry,
I
it happened with me.
worried to Anna this morning. I shouted at her for something that was not her fault. It was just morning rush. In fact, I'll tell you what happened. Today, I was speaking to a brand and I was rude unintentionally. And it was morning rush. And they told me that you could have politely declined it. And then, as soon as that happened, I told that, sorry, this was unintentional and I should have been polite, but this is unconditional apology. I shouldn't have done that. That doesn't make me a smaller person. That makes me a better person.
Exactly. And see, sometimes our reactions with others, we are able to do it better. Like if you say it to somebody you don't know, then you are able to apologize better. But with our kids, we at times take them for so granted, ki where will they go? They
And
have to come back.
I realized I was angry with Arnav when Yuvraj asked me, why are you angry? I said, I don't know why I'm angry. He said, but you must be angry for a reason. And then I realized, I was like, sorry. So, children are the best reminders.
They are.
Yeah.
Like it me also in the morning, like Taha, because he had cough last week, so he was eating very less. So in the morning with me and Taha, there is an equation where I cannot just understand when he's not eating now. It just gets me in my anxiety phase. Even though I keep on telling parents, don't force feed, don't do this, but I have reduced all these things with me. But with Taha, it just sparks from inside in me because I had him for almost 3.5, 4 years. So in my memory, there are receptors who keep on telling me he has to eat more, he has to eat more, he has to eat more. So I was rushing behind him, taking a bite. "Taha, ek bite और ले ले, आखिरी खत्म हो जाएगा." Till he was leaving for school, and then he got really angry. He was like, "No, mom, I don't want to take." I said, I'm sorry. I will not force you. I will not force you. I made a mistake. I was forcing you. I can see that. Mama was just in the rush. That's why she was doing that. And then he was still angry. And then I asked him that, Taha, what do we do when we are angry? Just can you remind me? He was like, we take deep breaths. Like, can you show me how? Let's do it together because I am also feeling very angry. Then he held my hands and we took deep breaths. He felt better. Then I was like, can you give me your fake ganda wala smile, Taha? And that started to make him laugh. And then I'm glad that when he went to school, he was in a happier mood and not in a grumpy mood.
Yes,
Because when we send our
same.
kids away at times by hitting them or by shouting at them, like just I remember my own times if my mom had slapped me or
You
shouting
make
at me,
me
the whole day in
so
school would be a torture.
you make me remember so many things. So my dad always used to hit me on the nails because I had this habit of nail biting. So every Sunday was like, that nail biting thing. But he did it with good intention. But what happened in my adulthood? I have changed as a person. I have become better at this, and now you can do this, so you don't really need that kind of thing with technology. You can do. So he did it for my benefit, but in the process, he harmed our relationship that way. So though we might do it with the best of intentions, sometimes just leave it.
I know, I know. Like it is the same with Taha. He also bites his nails a lot, and I still do it. Means
Mm-hmm.
my cuticles. If you see, like when I go for manicures, that person who is doing my cuticles is like, "Ma'am, I'm not sure how to do it because they are all मतलब, bleeding at times. Because whenever I'm in stress, I just keep on pulling them. But it happens with me whenever I'm in stress. I
That is
just cannot control that.
with my obsession with nails. Like, you'll always see my nails done up. I think it comes from that part where I remember from my childhood that I was always like, this is your nails, this is your nails, what will happen, this and that. So there are a lot of, as you grow, you carry a lot from your childhood. So the best we can
You
do is give that kind of right kind of childhood to our parents. And that is why I think you and me are here.
Yeah, I know. It is, see, it happens with all of us. All our memories are made in our childhood, like all our brain when it was developing, when our neurons were mapping, all those things will always remain with us. And to rewrite it, like what we guys are doing right now, practicing gentle parenting, wanting to learn more, all right, rewriting all this is so difficult.
I
Because
have
जो आपका
many
action
things.
है, that will always come out.
Yes.
Whatever.
Somebody is asking some questions.
One thing that I am learning with my kids is mutual respect, like to treat them with respect and dignity. That is something that I think most of us as kids, we lacked that. Like our kids, we were never respected in the way that we should have been. Like always, ये तुम्हारे काम का नहीं है, अभी तुम इसके बीच में मत बोलो. Can you just go out? Or like always shout at for things that we were even not responsible for.
I think we have become better parents after coming in this community where we interact with each other. You know how I call you that, I couldn't spend time with my child today, I couldn't do this. And I think that has rubbed off on the entire family. So, for a few days ago, I was shouting at Yuvraj. He had dropped water and I was shouting at him. And Varun was like, you cannot speak like this. And that made me came into my senses. And he said, you only talk about all this. So, how can you speak like this? And that I realized that,
Asif is also there. Asif is also there on this live. And last night, I was irritated at Zen because he was just splashing water. He was just touching me with his wet hands. And then he was like, "Do you talk like this?" Asif asked me this. And then I realized, then I just changed my tone. So, we also need those gentle reminders sometimes because it's not possible, as I said, because our mapping was done in that way. As kids, if we were doing something similar, our parents were shouting at us for doing all these misbehaviors. But that comes from internally, ki this is how we should respond. But when somebody reminds us that how we have to respond, that really helps.
what
Like,
I think self-care is that's why it's so important. Why I'll tell you is I know that I get angry when I'm ovulating and when I'm menstruating. These two are my trigger points. So whenever I'm getting angry, I check my calendar that okay, maybe this is the time and this is why it is happening and it's not me. who's doing it, and that reminder really helps. So self-care is very, very important, and to take that time off to be with yourself, even if it's for 15 minutes, it helps you calm down. Otherwise you're just screwing the whole day. When do you unscrew?
Yes.
That is very
True. Means nothing is more important than me for myself is me. I think like if I miss my gym, I'm grumpy the whole day, I feel. Then I need to go out for a walk in the afternoon or in the evening to just clear my mind. So Shweta here has asked a very good question. How to remember these pointers during a tantrum by a toddler? Though we try to keep our calm, sometimes it blows up that you can't do anything. For toddlers, I will tell you one thing, that always try to remember that their brain has not developed. Whenever you keep on repeating this to yourself that my child's brain is not developed, they cannot understand logic at any point of time. So
yes.
that really helps you being calm, first of all. Secondly, you practice being empathetic. You just repeat what your toddler is saying. Your toddler is saying, I want to watch screen. You just say, I know, bacha, you want to watch screen. I know, bacha. It is making you feel angry because you want to watch screen and mama cannot allow you right now. So when you are empathizing now, you are also talking to your own self also. जो हम सुनते हैं बार 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 बार, वो हमारा inner voice बनता है. So when you are empathizing with your kids, you are hearing your own voice, which is calmer. So that will also help you be calm. And if you can sense in that minute that I am not calm, I am just about to shout or do anything, take a step back, go out of the room, take a sip of water, come back again. Tell your child, just give me 2 minutes. At times, my boys are fighting like crazy. Like, then I have to go and tell them that, guys, I need 5 minutes. Then I'll come back and sort this. But give me that 5 minutes because मेरा ही regulated नहीं है, तो how will I help them?
Exactly. And that connection, building that connection with your child helps a lot. So what we do as a family is, before going to sleep, no matter what happened in the day, we'll go over the day in calm voice, what we liked, what we didn't like, or what could have been done better, and then make them sleep in a happy state. And when they wake up, the first thing, you wake them up very lovingly. And I think apologizing, if you do these things, I think the connection is built. After that, even if you're saying a no silently, like no, don't do this, they listen to it rather than going no. You don't need to go to that level if there's a connection.
True, that's really true. Like, I think I am not able to do this every night because I don't sleep. I don't make my kids sleep. My husband does. So I don't know what he does in that time. That is my me time after my husband is back. So usually now Taha has started writing his own journal, which I have promised him that I will not read. I try to sneak peek sometimes, but I try not to read it. So, means giving him that, like with elder kids, giving them that opportunity where they can write their feelings also helps a lot.
Yes.
Like you can just talk, think about what has happened with them and everything. So that really helps. Also, we have one more question here. I don't want to scold him in public, and he understands that mom will say till limit. In case I scold, he sees everyone in the room and gets into the shell. Please guide. See, this happens with a lot of kids, and it should happen also, right? Like if when we were in school, when your class teacher made you stand in the class and insulted you in front of everyone, do you like that? Did you like that feeling? Never, because your friends are laughing at you or something of that kind. Na? That same thing is happening with your child also. Nobody likes to be insulted in front of everyone. Like, you are your child's safe haven every time, and when you are only not on their side in front of everyone. I live in a big joint family, so it happens a lot of times with me also. Like, misbehaving. Downstairs, they're with my mother-in-law, father-in-law, they're playing, they're fighting. Then they call me, Ki, Arey, just look at them, what they're doing. In that moment, at times I feel like shouting from above only, Ki, what is this, guys? Come just. So now what I do is I just tell them, just come up. Let's talk over here. Come up. I come down. You just come up. So when they are in my room, then whatever I am talking with them is between the three of us. Like, and then I don't discuss too much with my in-laws and my family. They were doing it. See, kids, they do get dysregulated when they're playing, when they are fighting with each other. It will happen, especially when there are one or more kids in the house. It happens more frequently.
Yes.
But if you're shouting at your child, then they'll not be able to open up with you because they know that mama will not keep my secret. She will insult me in front of everyone. She will tell my secrets to others. So those are the things that your children need that, they need that from us.
They need that security.
Exactly, they need that security from us ki mama understands me always.
Yes.
Okay, there is a question. My nephew is 9 years old. His father beats him every day with belt or for small mistakes. First of all, I would say, dear, that that father needs therapy, not the child. The father needs therapy
Anger management.
because he needs to understand that your anger can be displaced on your child and how it is going to affect that child. That child might need counseling and everything, but that father also needs to understand and stop that behavior. And I'm sure it is not happening for him also because of the trauma that he might have gone in his childhood. So he needs therapy. She's
He
asked
needs
that.
that generational cycle that has happened.
And like people around him, if you know him, I think that you can counsel him for these things. That what is this happening? Like we, one thing that really when people are hitting their kids, shouting at kids, I always think of the time that when your child makes a mistake, we want them to come back to us, not run away from us. Once that is the most strongest foundation that I think I have right now in me. I want my children to make mistakes. Everybody will make mistakes, but I want them to come to me and tell them कि mama गलती हो गई. And no, कि mama will try to sort it out and not blame them कि तुमने ऐसा किया इसलिए ऐसा हो गया. You know, it used to happen with us. Like when we were 14, 15, we used to make mistakes and everything, but we were so scared to go to our parents because we know that we'll be getting schooled about it. Nobody will be listening to our side of the story, but they will be just schooling us.
I will share another side of it. So I was scared to go to dad, but for me my mom was always available, and that has and that carried on. So whenever I had in school, if I had boyfriends and things like that, I would go and share it with her, and that led me to the right path. She always gave me freedom. My friends used to envy my mom that how is she like that? She gives you so much freedom, but it came with a certain responsibility. I know that if I have that freedom, I have that responsibility, and I think I have been on the right path because I shared everything, and that could only happen because there was this gentle parenting that she was doing.
Exactly. And Stuti, see, that's why I think I made a lot of more mistakes because I was scared to go in that direction. You know, because when kids have that anchor holding them, na, then they don't make so many mistakes also. They know we will go back to what our roots are. But when then we become very good at hiding, we very become very good
The
at lying and all these
first
things.
tried alcohol, I called my mom that there is this thing. Can I try? She said just try it, don't have it, and it was so bad that now I don't drink. But if if it was not like that, maybe I would have because I was a journalist going to all kinds of parties, and there was every day. But because my mom knew that what to do, when to stop,
मना
what
करेंगे तो सही.
या तो मुझे मना नहीं किया गया, मुझे बोला गया करो मगर लिमिट में, और आके मुझे बताओ कैसा लगा. So when we discussed this, she told that कुछ अच्छा नहीं होता. I don't know why people do it. ये वो, and that stayed with me, and I think that has shaped me. So I want to be that parent.
There is one more question: how to react when your child push some other child in front of you. See, this will happen a lot. Kids, they will push other kids, they will hit other kids, they will bite other kids. Especially what happened in Bangalore, the incident that we all saw and we judged that child. Your child is not a monster child for hitting somebody or biting somebody, or because that is their natural instinct. We all came back from animals. You know, so when we see that somebody is threatening us, हमारे तीन ही रिएक्शंस होते हैं. एक होता है फ्लाइट, एक होता है फाइट और एक होता है फ्रीज. और हमारा जो सबसे स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट रिएक्शन होता है ना, वो होता है फाइट एज अ चाइल्ड. कि भी इफ somebody is trying to, some child is there and I think that this he is my threat, I will want to hit him and get rid of that thing from my place. You know, so हमारा वो primitive brain ही वैसा है. As humans we have, हम लोग दूसरे लोगों को खत्म करके ही हम लोग इतना आगे आए हैं basically. That's the thing. That's the primitive brain. So when your child did that and you slapped him both the times, that didn't help your child at all. Instead, what happened was your child knows कि मारना तो सही है, मैंने भी तो सही किया था, मम्मा ने मुझे क्यों मारा? Because your child was also hitting that behavior. So what is the point? Like, agar in that case, like if your child is hitting somebody, What I will do is, as a parent, like if my child is hitting another child and that child is crying, first of all I will go and empathize with that child who is crying. And बच्चा आपको लगी है, कहाँ लगी है? Let your child see that whoever is hurt, you go and help them first. Let
They
your
get
child see.
more attention than the child who has hit. Don't make
Yes,
them the center.
exactly. Give that child the attention, and then you take your child in your lap and take them away from that place. Because your child is not able to control that hitting situation, you take your child away. You take your child away and don't school them in that moment कि क्यों मारा, मैं तुम्हें इसलिए लेके जा रही हूँ क्योंकि तुम सबको मारते हो. Don't do that in that moment. Your child's body was telling him to hit and he hit. So instead, you just empathize with your child. Bacha, I know you have hit that child. I can see that. What happened? Kuch hua? Did that child do something to you? Let them have a conversation about it. Instead of impulsively reacting, you are just showing your child how to do it. Like other times, he will go and hit other kids, but he will not make sure that you don't see it. Okay, Stuti, I have to go. Somebody's calling
I'm
now.
about to tell you this. My lunch is waiting.
Okay, so thank you everybody who joined today. I hope we got something in you, and we will be doing it frequently now.
Yes, we love doing it. I came impromptu. I had no idea she was doing this live. I was just a,
I also had
onlooker.
my
This was just
Instagram, like I don't.
impromptu. But this was so good. I also got to learn so much from you, Rahila.
You already know it. Chalo, okay, bye.
Bye.